Hi guys, good evening. Yes, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll start session. Yes, we'll start session. So previous class, Java features started. Java features. Yes. So previous class about independent of platform discussed. Yes, before independent of platform, yes, we discussed about that fundamentals. Yes, once let me show the Java document also. The Java document. So Java document, this is. So this is document. Yeah. Today I received all of your email IDs. From online team, I received your email IDs. Okay. I'm sharing. Yeah, definitely. Today I'm sharing. 100% I'll share it. Don't worry. Today I'll share it. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Introduction. This introduction discussed. System software, application software. OS discussed. Yes. Next about these all these basics were discussed here. Interpreter and compiler discussed. Okay. Yes. Introduction to Java. Yes, in this first Java features. In Java features, yesterday we had discussed about independent platform. Only this topic is discussed. Okay. Yes, today about portability. Yes, today about portability. We should discuss about portability. See, Java. So JDK Java Development Kit. Okay. So JDK 1.0 released in the year 1995, released with these main features. Yes, main features of Java. Independent platform means what is independent platform? Platform means OS, right? Platform means OS. It's independent of OS. Java is a independent of OS. Yes, how it is? Beginning of it is a JVM, right? JVM makes Java as independent platform. Okay. See, Java is not a exe file. Java dot class file is not exe file. Suppose if it is exe file, is OS dependent. So why exe file is OS dependent? Yesterday we have discussed. Exe file is OS dependent. Reason it contains OS library. Exe file contains OS library. Exe file contains OS library. Since exe file contains OS library, it's a OS dependent. When come to Java, Java dot class file. Java dot class file don't have any OS library. There's no OS library in Java dot class file. Since don't have OS library, it's independent platform. Okay. Yes, here JVM. In Java, this is JVM. JVM makes our Java as independent platform. Okay. So these points yesterday we discussed. Okay. Yes. Next portable. Let us see about portability. So what is portability? So what does it mean here? Portability. So generally here, what's the portability here? Portability means easy to move, easy to move from one location to another location. It's nothing but portable. Another location, easy to move. Okay, so easy to move from one location to another location without any changes. Without any changes is a portability. Okay, so easy to move from one location to another location without any changes. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, first class, no worry. Just we are at the introduction only. Java not yet started. Okay, just Java overview just discussing here. Since last 2 to 3 days, Java overview is going on here. Java programming not yet started here. Yes, even not yet installed. So next class we are going to installing Java installation, Eclipse installation, and all that installations and programming. Next class will be starting here. Today Java overview will be finishing here. Okay, overview. Just only overview. Till now, what we discussed is some fundamental discussed here, some Java overview discussed. Don't worry. So next class, starting programming. Okay. Yes, programming not started. Even Java setup was not completed. Java environment not completed. Eclipse was not completed. Still, topic is there. Okay. Now there are Java features now. Okay. Yes, portability. So what does it mean? Portability means easy to move from one location to another location without any changes. Without any changes. For example, look at laptop. Laptop is portable, right? Easy to move. Laptop is portable, easy to move. Desktop, yes, desktop is not a portable. You have to remove all the connections, CPU connections, monitor connection, keyboard connection. You have to remove all the connections. Okay, right? Yes, carrying to somewhere. Okay, then you have to assemble. It's not a portable. Laptop is portable, desktop is not a portable. Okay, now what's a portability in Java? So what's a portability in Java? Let us see that. Portability in Java. See, Java application build, Java application build, Java application build, Java application build means final project is called build. What's project development complete, testing completed, that is called build, final build. Build means final one. It's a final one. Okay, final one. Okay, yes. So Java application build, Java application build can be moved, can be moved, can be moved from from one OS to another OS, one OS to another OS. See here, Java application build can be moved from one OS to another OS without any changes in the application, without any changes in the application build. In the yes, without any changes in the application build. So without any changes, we can move it here. Okay. So nothing but say portability. Yes. See, Java application build can be moved. Java application build, it can be, yes, can be moved from one OS to another OS without any changes, without from OS to another OS without any changes in the application build. Change not required. Okay, that's okay, fine. See, here if you able to move the application from one OS to another OS here, okay, if you able to move application from one OS to another OS, that is nothing but what, without any changes, without any change as it is moving, without any change as it is moving, that is called the portability. That's okay, fine. Yes, how portability possible in Java here? Java application portable, okay, fine. Without any changes, this can be moved from one OS to another OS without any change. That is nothing but portability. Okay. At this point, anyone will explain simply here. Portable means. Yes, exactly here. Yes, here portability. How it is portable? Yes, how Java application is portable? So first question is, yes, how Java application, how Java application build is a portable, is a portable, is a portable, right? Portable. Next, second point, what is advantage? So what is advantage? So what is advantage? What is advantage of portability here? So here, what is advantage? So what's the advantage of portability here? What is advantage of portability? What is advantage? So what is advantage here? These questions here. So how Java application is portable? What is advantage getting portability? So what are the benefits in portability here? These points we'll discuss. Okay. Yes. Let us see. Now to discuss about this one here, now we should go to different environments. That life cycle we have to discuss. Okay. See, here in project here in SDLC, software development lifecycle. SDLC stands for software development lifecycle. Okay, software development lifecycle. Okay, see, SDLC, various kinds of SDLCs available. Yes, old is 4 to 5 years back, we used to follow some waterfall method and different type of methods, but we are following some agile methodology. We are following some agile method nowadays. Agile methodology and Scrum, this kind of things we are following. Agile is the latest one. So with agile methodology, we can develop the applications within short time. Within 1 month, we can finish. With agile methodology, within 1 month, we can finish. Suppose old models like waterfall methods, maybe for taking more time. But nowadays we are following agile methodology that takes less time here. Okay. Yes. Now we'll see here SDLC. In SDLC, here. So first step, what are the steps in SDLC here? So first step is yes, collecting requirements from the clients, collecting requirements from the clients. After collecting requirements here, next requirements analysis. Next we should analyze the requirements here. Requirements analysis. Okay. Requirement analysis here. Requirement analysis. Okay. Yes. Analysis. Requirement analysis. Okay. Analysis. Requirement analysis. After analyzing requirements here, see collecting requirements. So the requirements from the client, collecting requirements from the clients. Okay, that requirement we should analyze. Who will analyze this one? Requirement analysis here. Who will analyze it here? Functional team. They say functional team and project architect. Okay, project architect, solution architect. Okay, see, yes, in my projects, yes, in our projects, my role is solution architect. Yes, I have to analyze all the requirements because of experience. Okay. Yes, my role is solution architect. As a solution architect, I should involve in the requirements analysis here. Functional team and solution architect. Solution architect has to involve everywhere here. With all teams, he has to work. Solution architect has to work with the functional team, development team, testing team, and production team. There are various teams in the project life cycle. That solution architect everywhere he has to involve here. Okay. Now, so requirement analysis. This is by the solution architect and functional team. Functional team means who is having domain knowledge. They are functional team. One second. I'll tell you some example. Suppose, for example, here, yes, one of our projects, GST filing system. We have developed one product on GST filing system. One of our projects. Okay. GST filing system. Yes, we have done one product. Who is having GST knowledge means chartered accountant is a functional guy. Yes, in functional team, who is having domain knowledge means GST, the GST knowledge. Who is having that knowledge is a functional team. Okay. Yes. So functional team is nothing but domain experts. Domain experts are functional team. Okay. So requirement analysis here. After analyzing requirements, so as per requirements, designing projects here. Designing. Who will design the project here? Solution architect. So next is designing here. So designing. Yes, after designing, next is developments. After development here, next one is testing. After testing here, yes, next production. Sometimes pre-prod also. Pre-prod and then prod. Okay, pre-prod and then prod. Okay, production is nothing but a go live. Pre-production, yes, or production, it's a go live. Production is a go live. Okay, so these are the different steps in the SDLC, software development lifecycle. There are different steps here. Okay, yes, collecting requirements from the clients, next requirement analysis, designing, development, testing, pre-prod and production. Okay, now let us see Java application. Now, yes, SDLC in Java application following all the steps. So collecting requirements, yes, next requirements analysis here, designing its developments. Suppose developing Java app on Windows OS, Java application on Windows OS. Okay, development, Java application on Windows OS. Development is on Windows OS. Testing also on same Windows OS. See, after finishing development, that project moving to testing departments. They will test it. Testing also same on Java application testing also same on Windows OS. Pre-production. Yes. What is pre-production here? This may be doubt. Development is nothing but writing code. Okay. See, designing means, yes, you said designing means nothing but preparing communication system in the project here. In designing, deciding this different kind of things. In designing projects, deciding technology. Deciding technology. Is it Java or HTML or Hadoop? Yes, maybe Python. Deciding technologies. There's a designing stage. Of designing application, development, coding starts. So development, Java application on Windows OS. So what development is meant on Windows OS? Testing. Once development complete here, now testing team they will test the projects. Yes, why testing here? The project generating correct results or not? Generating correct results or not? So testing the results. Okay. Suppose this also on Windows OS. Development on Windows OS, testing also Windows OS here. Pre-production and production. Production is live, actual live. Suppose for example, Flipkart, you giving some order service in live. It's live here, live order. So banking, depositing some, it's live rate. That's live here. Like, see production, it's nothing but it's live here. So before going to go live here, there's a pre-prod, one more testing is there. After finishing complete testing here, suppose application generating correct results here, pre-prod. What is exactly pre-prod here? See, development testing, maybe using sample data. In development testing, using some sample data, we'll develop the application. Using sample data testing application. Yes, once come to pre-prod, it's a real data. Pre-production, before going to production, it's a real data. Production also real data. The pre-prod, production, both are real data. The difference is here. Pre-prod is small amount of data. Testing is small amount of data. Production is, yes, huge amount of data. Pre-prod and prod. Pre-prod means before production. Before production, yes, this is real data. Already generated real data will be there. A client location, some real data. Taking real data and testing. That is pre-prod. Pre-prod. Okay. Next after go live. So pre-prod also working fine. Simply moving to live, right? Yes, live also on Windows OS. Okay, live means a client location. A client location. Yes, a client location. Yes, a client location. Project in live. Project in live. Live. Project in live on Windows OS. On Windows OS. Fine. Now it's live going on. Live going on. Suppose after 6 months. After 6 months. After 6 months, or maybe after some time. Suppose after some time. After some time, client wanted to change the OS. After some time, client wanted to, yes, client wanted to change OS. Okay, yes, reason might be something here. Suppose reason, suppose Windows is not a secure. Maybe moving to Linux base. Client wanted to move to Linux base. Next, one more thing, Windows is not a freeware. Windows is a costly. So Linux is freeware sometimes. Okay, right? So here, so reason may be anyone, maybe because of cost reducing, because of that maintenance reducing, or maybe security. Windows is not secure. So for that reason, client wanted to move to, yes, Linux base. So after some time, client wanted to change ways. Client wanted to change ways. Okay, change ways. Okay, client wanted to change ways. Then what's the process? Yes, application moving from one OS to another OS is a migration process. Yes, migrating. Yes, migrating. It's migrating app from, yes, Windows to Windows Linux base. Windows Linux base. Okay, migrating. Now migrating app from Windows Linux base. Okay, and what's the migration process? What is the migration process? Let us see what's the migration process. Migration process. What's a migration process? 1 second. Let me move somebody. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What's a migration process? Okay. Java application, Windows to Linux base. Okay. Java app. Okay. What's a migration process? What's a migration process? See, Java app, Java application, Java app. Yes, migrating from Windows to Linux base. Migrating. Okay. So migration. Yes, migrating from Windows to Linux base. What's a migration process? How much time will be taken here? Simply, what's a migration process here? So Windows server already in live, it's working here. So first Linux server. So first Linux server has to set up. So first Linux server setup. Linux server setup. Okay. Linux server setup, nothing but here just taking hardware, maybe high-end systems. Yes, in real-time production environment, always high-end systems. Taking high-end system, next Linux admin, you will install Linux base. After install Linux base here, next you will update OS. After updating OS, he has to set up networking. For that purpose, maybe installing some SSH. By installing SSH, networking communication starts. Okay. After that, unblocking some port numbers. Suppose Java application is running on some port number 8080, maybe Tomcat server port number. That port number has to unblock. Okay, unblocking port numbers. Okay, unblocking port numbers. After unblocking port numbers, configuring IP address. Once it configures, then that will place into company network. That Linux server has to place into company network. So once Linux server placed into company network here, Linux server is ready. Linux is ready here. So Linux server setup is done over. Okay. So the Linux server is running on company network. On company network, Linux server is ready, right? So what is next step here? Next step is moving. Yes, moving. Yes, application. Moving application. Yes, moving. Yes, application. Yes, application. Application from Windows to Linux base. Windows to Linux. Okay, how to move? FTP. Using FTP here. Yes, generally we'll use FTP here. Windows, FTP service. Okay, Linux. So between Windows and Linux, FTP setup. After that, moving to Linux base. Okay. Yes, after moving to Linux base, using FTP, moving to Linux base here, next go live starts. Go live. So the migration process. Okay. Yes, if it is Java application here, Java application, after setup is done, Linux server setup is done here, directly that can be moved to Linux base without any changes. Okay, Linux, see, Java application build can be moved to one base to another base without any changes. Reason here, Java code is independent of OS. Java code is same for all the operations. Okay, see, Java application build yes can be yes migrated from one base to another base without any changes. Reason, yes, Java code is independent of platform. Java code is independent of OS here. Same Java program is same for all the operations. Okay, Java application build can be migrated from yes from one OS to another OS without any changes. Without any changes. Reason, yes, reason Java code. Reason is Java code. Java code is an independent of OS. Independent of OS. Java code is independent of OS. Okay. Yes. That's okay, fine. Simply moving, as it is moving, that application build as it is moving from Windows to Linux base without any changes. Reason, code is same. Code is same on Windows base, Linux base. Code is same. No change in codes. Code is same. Simply we can move. Yes. See, migration process. How much time taken for enter this process? Anyone can you guess it? How much time taken for this migration process? Anyone can you guess it? Matter of 2 or 3 hours. Hardly 2 or 3 hours. Yes, I have seen many things. In my experience, many times we have changed ways. Okay. See, matter of 2 or 3 hours. See, Linux server setup, it will be taking almost 2 hours. Linux installation, 1 hour. Okay, hardly 1 hour. Okay, next networking setup, hardly half an hour. Next, unblocking port numbers and all this Linux server setup, hardly 2 hours. Within 2 hours, we can finish. After that, moving application from Windows to Linux base. For this, first of all, there is FTP setup. FTP setup may be taking for half an hour, even 15 minutes enough. I can set up within 15 minutes. Okay, even this part also I can do. Linux server setup also I can do. I have that experience also. Okay, so this is matter of 2 hours. This FTP setup 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, next moving matter of 5 minutes. Totally here hardly 2.5 or 3 hours. Within 3 hours, migrating from Windows Linux base. That migration process maximum 3 hours. So without any delay, it's working here. Then matter of 3 hours. Within 3 hours, migration process completed. Within 3 hours, finishing migration. Okay. See, Java Application can be migrated from one base to another base without any changes. See, Java application development on Windows base, live on Windows base, later moved to Linux base because Java code is independent of OS. Okay, Java code is independent of OS. Since Java code is independent of OS, easy to move from one base to another base without any changes. Okay, here slogan of Java is write once, write once, write once, and run anywhere. Run anywhere. That is slogan of Java. Run anywhere here, anywhere. Write once, run anywhere. That means here, develop the project only once. After developing here, that project can be deployed on any ways. Okay, project development on Windows OS completed. Okay, that project can be deployed on the Linux OS, or it can be deployed on the Unix OS, or it can be on Solaris OS or IBM. Anyways, that can be deployed. It's nothing but it's a portability here. Okay, write once, run anywhere. Development is only once. Development is only once. After developing, that project can be deployed anywhere here. That can be run anyways. It's nothing but portability here. It's a portability. Okay, fine. So this is application portability in Java. So Java application portability migration process matter of 3 or 4 hours. Fine. Now let us take other applications. Yes, before Java coming to market, already some projects in C language, in C++, next in VC++, next in Visual Basic. Okay, yes, in 90s, most of the projects were developed in VC++ and VB here. See, C and C++ different. That's embedded C. Embedded projects, that is different. This kind of projects, embedded C projects, embedded projects we can't develop in projects like Java or VB and this. That is ruled out. Okay, C and C++ different. Like device drivers, next gateways, routers, bridges, all the embedded programming developing C++, C and C++. So that is not related to this one here, not related to Java. Now come to this VC plus VB. These are the products from the Microsoft. In 90s, VC++ and Visual Basic very famous. Okay, Microsoft was the leader, no doubt. In 90s, Microsoft was the leader. Microsoft was the leader. Okay, yes. Here, Java came to the market with so many features. First one, independent platform. First one, independent platform. Okay, independent platform means Java application running on anyways. See, already existing application like VC++ application, Visual Basic. These are exe files. Visual Basic is exe file. VC++ are exe. If it is exe OS dependent, these applications are OS dependent, means Windows dependent. Visual C++ and Visual Basic, they are from the Microsoft. These are Windows OS dependent. These will not work with other operating systems. They are OS dependent. But what is Java? Independent of OS. Okay, so that is first main features of Java. Java independent platform. So compared to existing applications, Java, yes, Java came to the market with features, independent features. Next, application portability. Application portability. So what is application portability? Just now discussed. Okay, Java application build can be moved from one OS to another OS, one OS to another OS without any changes. Okay, yes. Suppose if application VC++ or C language, application C language or C++ or VC+ Visual Basic, what happens here? It's exe file. It's exe. The project exe. Okay, project exe file. Okay. Now these cases C language, C++, VC+, Visual Basic. Suppose in this application development, let us repeat same steps here. Yes, SDLC in C language or C++. SDLC, yes, SDLC, yes, in C language or C++ or VC++, anywhere. Okay, C or C++ or VC++, something like this. Same here also collecting requirements. Next, requirement analysis, designing, next developing. Suppose C application or C+ application, yes, development on Windows base. What happens here? Windows based exe generates, right? Windows based exe generates. Yesterday same point exactly we discussed. Okay, in development, C application developed on Windows base, then Windows based exe file generates. That exe file contains what here? Windows library. Okay, so Windows based exe file contains Windows library. Yes, Windows based exe. If it is Windows based exe, testing also must be on the same ways on Windows base. Suppose Java application development on Windows base, that can be tested on Linux base also, no problem, no issue. Okay, Java application, see in Java development may be Windows base, but testing can be Linux base, no problem. Testing on Linux base. So pre-prod may be on Unix base. Next go live may be again Linux base, like that. No problem, no issue here. Anyways can be used here. Anyways can be used here. Because independent of OS and portability. Okay, but when come to C language, C projects or C++, that case what happens here? So project development on Windows base, then generating Windows based exe file. That Windows based exe file can run on only Windows base. It won't work on other operations, right? Okay, so testing also must be Windows base. Okay, next pre-prod also on the Windows base. Even production on Windows base. Everything is on Windows base, right? We can't change base. Okay, now C application, C app, yes is in live on Windows base, on Windows base, on Windows base, Windows base. Okay, now same scenario in C language also. Suppose after some time client wanted to change base. After some time, maybe 2 months or 3 months, maybe 6 months or 1 year. After some time, client wanted to change ways. Okay, so migrating C application or C++ application from Windows to Linux base, that's the requirements. Then what's a migration process? What's a migration process? Now question is here. Can I run Windows based that exe build on Linux base? Now question. Yes. Please answer this. Can I run Windows based exe file, exe build on Linux base? Can I run it here? First step, suppose Java application is directly moving Windows to Linux base or to go to live. Okay, now same thing if it is C language, C exe file. So Windows based exe file, right? Can I run that Windows based exe file on Linux base? No. No, exe file is a OS dependent. We can't run it here. No, we can't run. No. Okay. No. No, we can't run. We can't run this. Okay. We can't run. Then what's the migration process? We can't run it here. Okay. We can't run. This you can't run it here. So Windows based exe file, same exe file as it is move on to Linux base. Try to run it here. It fails. It fails. Then what's the way here? Okay. Then what's the way here? What's the migration process? Simply the migration process is that case. Now we should take source code. We should take that source code, that C program. We should take complete source code, and should rebuild on Linux base. Yes, Linux base. You have to rebuild on Linux base. Okay. So that case, we should take this source code. See all these source code C programs, all that C programs we should take it and should rebuild on Linux base. Okay. Suppose there are C programs in projects, hundreds of files, hundreds of C programs. Okay. In project there are some hundreds of C programs. All these C programs moving onto Linux base after rebuilding means recompilation. Suppose if I'm recompiling a Linux base here, many errors. Thousands of errors getting. Yes, already project successfully working, even successfully working here, getting lot of errors. Reason? Yes, reason here. C language programming is OS dependent. Okay, see here. So we should take the source code and should rebuild on Linux base. Okay, rebuilding means here we have to read all of this C language. Okay. Yes. C programming or C++. C programming. Yes. C programming is a OS dependent. Okay. Yes. C programming for Windows is different. Linux is different. Windows based C language is different. Linux based C language different. Okay. Yes. Almost 60 to 70% same code, but some differences. 60 to 70% same code will be there here, but some differences. Okay. Yes, C programming is a OS dependent. OS dependent. Then how to rebuild? Yes, we should go for redevelopment here. Yes, we should modify. So we should, yes. So we should modify the. We should modify. Yes, we should modify C programming code. C programming. We should modify C programming. C programming as per Linux base. As per Linux base. So as per Linux base, you should modify this. We should modify the C programming as per Linux base. Modification. After modification, next you should recompile. You should modify the C program as per Linux base here. Next recompilation. Yes, recompilation. Okay. So recompilation here. Okay, right? Yes, next regenerating build. Yes, you have to generate build again. Regenerating build. That build should be regenerated. Okay, rebuilding your system, complete rebuilding your projects, regenerating build. So rebuilding your project, right? Okay, half rebuilding here. Next, you should undergo testing compulsory. Once any changes in code here, once any changes in the code, yes, in the code, that build should undergo testing. Build should undergo testing compulsory. Should undergo testing. Yes, it should undergo testing, right? Testing. Okay. Yes, after testing. Next, again, same pre-prod and prod. Now, what happens here? Suppose if it is C application migration process, C application migration process. In C application migration process, what happens here? Yes, C, SDLC. Yes, requirement already over. The step is already over. Not required repeat. Requirement are already done here. Yes, designing already done over. Okay. So these steps not required repeats. No, this repeating, right? Development means that code modifying, right? Just we are modifying code, right? The developer this step repeated. Next testing. Once application modified, that should undergo testing. So this also repeating. So development repeated, testing repeated, pre-prod test repeated here. Yes, these steps repeated, right? Okay. So in the complete life cycle, see in SDLC here, in total SDLC. So maximum time, yes, development. Yes, total SDLC, maybe 1 year. Out of 1 year, 60% of time for the development. Yes, 60% for the development here. Okay, 20% for the testing care. Means 80% of time care. Just a matter of 5% this is. So here 80% of time will be taken for these steps, right? Yes, 20% of time is for these steps. 20% of care. This is major, right? So what is happening here? So 80% of development, yes, sorry, 80% of SDLC repeating. Suppose that original project was taken for 1 year, right? Yes, migration process, how much here? These steps are repeating. Means 80% of time repeating. That means almost 9 months required. 1 year projects. Originally it was taken for 1 year. 1 year, right? Now, in migration process, again development repeating, testing repeating, pre-prod, all these steps repeating. Means how much should be taken here? 9 months. Okay, it will be taken for 9 months. Okay, so migration process, how much time here? 9 months. Suppose Java, matter of 1 day. Suppose if C language projects or C++ projects or VC++ projects or Visual Basic projects. Okay, this is almost, yes, 9 months required. 9 months required. Okay, that means client has to wait for 9 months. Java, matter of 1 day. 1 day enough. Within 1 day, that can be migrated. But when come to these cases here, these kind of projects here, 9 months required. 9 months required. Okay. Not only time here, not only waiting time here, resources required. Again, developing projects. Yes, development resources. Next, testing resources. Pre-prod. All the resource, right? Resources costly. Okay. Resources costly, right? Costly here. Okay, right? So expenses. So client has to, yes, bear that expenditure, right? Next, not in 9 months waiting time here, expenditure on the project, right? He has to spend again expenditure. Okay, expenditure, right? Expenditure on the project. Okay, yes, expenditure, right? Expenditure. Okay, it's an expensive. Right? So here migration C++, VC++, Visual Basic. These projects are expensive in migration. Yes, 9 months time taken. See, 9 months client is stopping his business. Actually, his business is important, right? Software is secondary. Suppose his business is running good, then he can use software, he can go for automation, right? Suppose if business is not running, how we can generate amount and all this here? First of all, his business has run smoothly. To run smoothly, software required, but it's taking for 9 months. So client is waiting for 9 months, right? So 9 months wasting of time. Next waste, yes, business may not be running here. Maybe smoothly may not be running, right? So business may not be running here. Loss of business. Okay. So there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of risk. See here, migration process. This kind of projects, client has to face a lot of risk, lot of expenditure, lot of waiting time. Okay. Same exactly presented by the Sunsoft in the year 1995. In the year 1995, Sunsoft they have presented portability, application portability, independent platform. Same these things presented by the Sunsoft in the year 1995. Okay. So with that presentation here, so with that features here, many clients attracted with Java software. Many clients they have started thinking about Java independent platform. Okay, this kind of project does not support. Okay, next portability. This kind of projects portability. It's an expensive and time taken. Okay, so with that features, Java came to the market. Independent platform portability here. So many clients yes started thinking about Java. Okay, so started thinking about 95. Started thinking about Java. 97, 98 started using Java. Okay. Next, 99, 2000, JDK 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 like this, continuously features added. Continuously feature added here. So finally, JDK 1.5 Tiger version came to the market with many features. Many features, right? So with that features here, clients were attracted. Clients were attracted here and tried to moving from VC plus projects to yes, VC plus Visual Basic. These projects, most of the projects were converted to Java because of Java features. By the year 2010, most of the projects in the market here, VC plus projects, Visual Basic, all these projects, even .NET projects also, all the projects were converted to Java. Here. So by the year 2010 here, VC plus projects, Visual Basic projects, even SAP projects also converted. See, one of my projects is SAP project converting to Java. So why we have converted this one here? SAP projects. Reason here. SAP is a costly. SAP costly here. The client is to pay 2 crores per annum to maintain the SAP. Okay, 2 crores is not easy. Okay. So here you wanted to reduce expenditure. Then how to reduce? Then freeware. Yes, he is thinking about freeware. Okay, freeware, right? Yes, that client approached you. So through some media approached our company here. Yes, we have taken up that SAP project. Complete SAP project we have converted to Java. Java is a freeware. Need not to pay anything, right? Yes, start live. Yes, what are SAP performing same operations performing in our project also. Just like a ERP project, we have developed Java project. Like SAP project, we have developed Java project here. It's performing well. Now client is very happy. Yes, 2 crores of amount. Yes, he is saving every year. With 2 crores, complete yes, company expenses will be finishing here. He's happy with that. Okay, like this here, many applications, not only SAP here, even Oracle ERP application, Oracle ERP applications also moved to Java. So by the year 2010, most of the applications were converted to Java. Now currently, yes, now here, 90% of applications are in Java only here. 90% of applications in the software field in Java. 90% of applications Java developed. Java. 90% of applications were developed in Java. Okay. See, take any application, your day-to-day life using many applications like Facebook developed in Java, Flipkart developed in Java, Amazon online services developed in Java. Okay. Yes, like this WhatsApp developed in Java. Yes, even this GoTo training app also developed in Java. GoToMeeting app is almost all the application, 90% of applications developed in Java. Okay, so that means here 90% of applications are in Java, right? Means world, how many projects? Lakhs of projects. Yes, worldwide, many companies using many projects, right? Lakhs of projects. So lakhs of projects were developed in Java. Yes, to maintain these lakhs of projects, how many Java resources required? That's the reason Java become evergreen field. Okay, many support guys, many support guys required in Java. Okay, see, 60% of software resources are Java resources. 60% of software resources are Java resources. Yes, industry is depending on Java that much. 60% of resources are Java resources in the market here, software field. 60% of resources are Java resources. Okay, so industry maximum depending on Java resources, because here 90% of applications were developed in Java. Yes, that application who will give the support for this? Java resources. Java resources. Okay, so compared to Java, any other field is nothing here. Okay, 60% of software resource, Java resources. Yes, other 40% of resources sharing by other technologies. Okay, so major portion is Java resources. 40% of resources other technologies. Other technologies like maybe SAP, Oracle ERP, ClickView, Tableau, yes, maybe Python, yes, maybe C language, C++. 40% of yes, 40% of employees are other technologies. 60% of software resources or Java resources, 40% other technology. There's a difference between Java and others. Java is the leader in the market, no doubt. Okay, yes. So because of that reason here, there is a lot of demand for the Java resources, never reducing for Java resources, because yes, 90% of applications were developed in Java. So a lot of maintenance guys required here, maintenance resource required here, right? So this is about application portability. Okay. See here, by the year 2010, Java has become leader in the markets. Java is the leader. Now still it's a leader. Okay. Still Java is the leader in the market here. So this is about, yes, application portability. Yes, Java application is a portable. Java application is portable. How can you say here? How can you say here? Reason is here. Java application, see, Java application code is same for any operating system. Java application code is same for every operating system here. That application build can be moved from one base to another base without any changes. Without any changes, application build can be moved from one base to another base. It's nothing but application portability. Okay, right? Yes, what's the advantage of application portability here? What's the advantage of portability here? Portability advantage. Client, no risk for the client. First of all, no risk for the client, no expenditure for the client. Next, within short time, it can be migrated. That's the advantage of migration here. Migration, yes, because of portability, yes, client getting migration advantage without any zero expenditure. Okay, next, within zero time here, within no time migrating, zero expenditure, no risk, zero risk. With no risk, no cost, no risk, no cost. Okay, yes, no time here, right? So within short time, everything is achieving, right? It's nothing but application. This is actually what is happening in real-time projects. These are all not my experience only here. With that experience, and I'm explaining all this. I have seen many kind of projects like this. This kind of projects, I have seen many things. Okay, yes. About application portability. Okay, fine. Next, other features. Yes, other features are very simple. Okay. Yes, OOPS language. Java is an OOPS language. How can you say Java is an OOPS language? OOPS. OOP language. So what is OOP? It's a concept. OOP is not a language. OOP is a concept. OOP is a concept. Okay. OOP is a concept. This concept is having some features. Now, first question is why OOPS developed? OOPS concept features, okay. Everyone says that OOP, why OOP came to the market? For that origin is required here. Why OOP came to the market? That's the reason required here. Okay. See, OOP, okay, OOP concept, okay, OOP's features, okay. Why OOP's concept came to picture? That's the reason. That is no one can explain very clearly here. See, OOP concept. Why OOP concept came to the market? What's the reason for this? See, before OOPs, we have the C language. C is a first high-level language developed in the year 1972. C is a first high-level language. Before C language, we have assembly language and machine language. First and second generation. First generated machine language. Second generated assembly language. Okay. So before C language, these are languages. Those are low-level language, system understandable languages. Okay. So first to high-level language, C language. In the year 1972 by the Denis Ritchie. Denis Ritchie has developed the C language. Okay. Yes, C language. With C language, some disadvantages. What's the disadvantage of C language? What is the disadvantage of C language? Anyone idea? What is disadvantage with C language? What is disadvantage of C language? Anyone? Yes, what is OOP? I'll explain. Wait, I'll explain. What is the disadvantage of C language? No idea? See, but don't say pointers are disadvantage. Many says that pointers are disadvantage of C language. No, it's a strength of C language. Pointers are strength of C language. If pointers are not properly used, then there is a chance of data corruption. Okay. Suppose if C program is expert in pointers, then well and good. Suppose not expert in pointers here, chance of corrupting data. So even sometimes here crashing system also, pointers not properly used. Okay, suppose pointer can address, that address may be referring to OS files. So when you try to delete memory, the pointer goes to OS file village. Even OS also will crash. Yes, in C programming, if pointers are not used properly, here, that case chance of failing OS also will corrupt. Okay, very dangerous. Pointers are very dangerous. Okay, here main C language disadvantage of C language here. C language disadvantage. In C language, everything is global. C is a functional oriented language. In C language, everything is global. Like data is global. Data and functions both are global here. Data global. Data and functions both are global. Both are global. Yes, both are global. Yes. See, data is global. Global means anyone can modify it. Anyone from anywhere can modify here. Yes, functions also global. Any function can be called from anywhere. Okay, so because of data and functions global here, there is no security for data. This is disadvantage C language here. There is no in C language. There is no security for. There is no security. There is no security for data. There is no security for data. There is no security for data in C language. This is C language disadvantage. Okay, in C language, there is no security for data in C language. Okay, yes. To handle this one here, to overcome this, OOPs came to the market. OOP stands for Object Oriented Programming. Yes, OOP stands for Object Oriented Programming. OOP stands for Object Oriented Programming. Okay. Yes, initially OOPs was developed with two features. Initially, the OOP concept was developed with two features like encapsulation. Encapsulation and data abstraction. Encapsulation and data abstraction. So initially, OOPs concept was developed with these two features. What's the purpose of these two features here? To achieve data security. Okay, to achieve data security, encapsulation, what is encapsulation and data abstraction later we'll discuss. In Java OOPs I'll explain. That time I'll explain very clearly. Okay, so encapsulation, data abstraction to achieve data security. For the purpose of achieving data security, initially OOPs concept was introduced with these two features, encapsulation, data abstraction. Later added so many features. Okay, later added so many features like method overloading. Okay, method overloading, constructors, destructors, operator overloading, inheritance, method overriding, polymorphism, templates. Okay, so like this, many features. One by one features added. Out of all that features, powerful features are encapsulation, data abstraction. Next, third one, method overloading, methods overloading, method overloading. Yes, next, inheritance, 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 and polymorphism. These five are, yes, powerful features of Hooke's concept. Polymorphism, 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 polymorphism. These are the powerful features of Hooke's concept. Not only these features, having other features also. Other features like distractors, operator overloading, distractors, operator overloading, method overriding. Next, yes, templates concept. Next, operator overloading. Like this, totally 10 features. 10 features. C++ supports maximum features. 90% of Hoops features. C++ supports 90% of Hoops features. Okay. Yes, when come to Java, here Java support these features. Okay. So these are the main features of Hoops, powerful features of Hoops. Okay. So any language which is supporting all these 5 features enough. Not all not necessary here. Any language which is supporting all these 5 features, that language called as object-oriented programming language. That language called as object-oriented programming language. So any language which is supporting all that features, that language called as object-oriented language. Okay. Now, what are the object-oriented languages? Examples. Okay. Which is first Hoops language? Anyone idea? Yes. Which is first Hoops language? Obviously C++. Anyone says that? C++. C++. C is not a Hoops language. C is a functional oriented language. Okay. C is a functional oriented language. C++ is the next generation of C language. Okay. What is C++? C and Whoops is a C++. Okay. C and Whoops is a C++. What is plus plus? Increasing by 1, right? Plus plus, it's increment operator. Increasing by 1. C language plus 1. What is that one? Whoops. C language plus Whoops is a C++. That's it here. Okay. Yes. Why named as C++? Why named as C++? Reason is that here C language and Whoops is a C++. Okay. C++ nothing but C equal to C plus 1, right? C plus 1 step increment. 1 step increment. So C plus means increasing by 1. C equal to C plus 1. C language plus classes. That Hoops concept nothing but classes. C language plus classes is C++. Next, maybe somebody doubts why named as C++? Why not plus C? Plus C also increasing by 1. Pre-increment, post-increment. Yes, this pre-increment, post-increment we will discuss in Java. In Java, I will explain how that operator is working. Okay. Pre-increment, post. Why called as C++? Reason is after C language, next C++. Is a post development, right? C++ is post development after C language. That's the reason C++. Okay. C++. P. Charles Strostrup is the author of C++. Okay. Strostrup is the author of C++. Okay. After C++, what is next Hoops language? VC++ means Visual C++. Okay. One second. C++ and GA is a VC++. That's it. Okay. VC++ plus VC++. Sorry. C++ programming plus GA is a VC++. Visual C++ means we can see that. Visual C++. That is VC++. In VC++ we can develop GA like forms, reports, that kind of things we can develop. That is VC++. Okay, right? That is VC++. Okay. Yes. After C++, what is next Hoops language? After C++, what is next Hoops language? Any idea? GA means what is GA? Yeah, okay. Graphical user interface. GA means graphical interface. Like this is called a GA, like something like suppose this is GA. Graphical user interface. First name, yes. See this first name, okay. Email address, last name, phone. This is what GA. Graphical user interface. Okay, user friendly. This is, but this is called a GA. Yes, VC++ like this and like forms you can develop, for like reports we can develop, all the things we can develop in VC++, Visual C++, Visual C++, Visual C++. Okay, so C++ and GA, it's a VC++. This VC++ contains some COM components, yes, DCOM components, these things. Okay, component object model, distributed object, yes, COM and DCOM, distributed, yes, COM like this. Okay. Yes. So C++, after C++, what is next? After C++, what is next OOPS language? Python, not Java. First is C++, next Python. After Python, next is Java. Next is Java. After Java, what is next language? C++, Python, Java. After Java, any other OOPS language? Any language? Have you heard about any other language except C++, Python, and Java here? Except this, any other language, any other OOPS language, any other OOPS language, latest language, Scala, 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 scalable language. Yes, of course. After Java, .NET C# also. Okay, fine. .NET, .NET C#, .NET C#. Next, after Scala, Scala is recent. Yes, since last 5 to 6 years, Scala is most popular because data processing. In big data processing, we are using Scala. Okay. See, except see here, my case, except Microsoft products, I worked with everything. Microsoft products are very easy. Microsoft products, working with Microsoft products are very easy, user friendly. Except Microsoft products, I worked with almost all technologies. Okay, like SAP not work. Sorry, SAP also not worked. SAP not worked and Microsoft technology not worked. Except Microsoft technology, SAP, almost everything worked here. Like C++, C language, Python, Java, Scala. Next, Oracle ERP also worked. Oracle databases, Linux based, Windows based. Yes, almost most of the things I worked in the market. Okay, yes. Now here Java, since Java supporting all these features. Okay, since Java supporting all these features here, Java is an object-oriented programming language. Java is an object-oriented programming language. Okay, fine. Yes, next one. Yes, why Python is before Java? Python, Java was developed recently. After this, 1 second. Python in 90s already Python is there, but don't have this much of features. Yes, recently many features were added to Python here. Okay, Python, yes, 1989. Okay, yes, 1989. Okay, yes, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum. Python by the Guido van Rossum in 1989. 1989, that time itself Python was developed, but don't have much popularity because Python is scripting language. Generally, scripting language will have less popularity. Programming language more popularity. Okay. Still, suppose Python has many number of features. Now recently got the popularity. Okay. But main application, enterprise applications we can develop in Python. Python just only server-side scripting purpose, not actual application. Suppose simple web applications we can develop in Python, but not enterprise applications. In enterprise application, Java is king, no doubt. Okay. Yes. No other technology competing with Java in enterprise solutions. Enterprise solutions, Java is a king. Okay. Python only simple web applications. Okay. Python. Okay. So Python is very poor in enterprise solutions. Enterprise means yes, large number of transactions, large scale transactions. For example, Facebook is a large scale transaction handling. Python is poor, cannot work. Okay. Next Flipkart, Amazon online services, Facebook, next WhatsApp. These are large scale transactions, right? That case Python cannot work. Python is very slow compared to Java here. So Python, yes, Java is the leader in the large scale transaction like enterprise applications. Enterprise application means that application is handling huge number of transactions every day, large scale transactions. Okay, like banking applications are enterprise applications. Flipkart is a enterprise application. Okay, yes, suppose Durga websites, web application is not handling huge number of Durga website, maybe maximum 1,000 members visiting per day, maybe 2,000 members visiting per day. Durga website, how many visitors per day? Maximum 1,000, not more than that, right? Maybe 2,000. So take Facebook. Facebook, how many here? Yes, Facebook 220. Yes, sorry, 260 crores of users are there in Facebook here. 260 crores. So out of 260 here, around 100 crores of users actively working. 100 crores of users working, more than 100 crores of users working actively. Yes, 260 crores of accounts are there. 260 crores of accounts are there, but out of this 100 crores of accounts working active, that case Python cannot. That case Java only here. Okay, if it is huge number of transactions, Java is suitable for this. Okay, fine. So about OOPS language. Okay, Java is a OOPS language. Next one, scalability. So next is scalability. Okay, so what is scalability here? Next one, scalability. So what does it mean scalability here? See, any software released in the market, yes, minimum scalability feature. Python is a scalable language. Java is a scalable language. .NET is a scalable language. C++ is scalable. Every technology is a common feature. This is, yes, it's a common. Okay, so common. Yes, I'm coming to the topic only. So every technology says that it's a scalable. Java is scalable. Yes, Python is scalable. ClickView is a ClickView is a scalable. Tableau is scalable. SAP is scalable. Oracle ERP is scalable. Whatever technology comes in market here, in every technology they says that it's a scalable. Simply they says that it's a scalable. So what is scalability? So what does it mean scalability here? Scalability means scalability means scalability means see increasing or decreasing general meaning. I'm saying the general meaning, increasing or decreasing functionality without without affecting without affecting, yes, without affecting original function without affecting original functionality is scalability here. Scalability means here increasing or decreasing functionality without affecting their original functionality. Original function. This is scalability. Yes. See, suppose some features are suppose some product is in the market here. Maybe adding some features that should not damage original features. Changes something here, so that should not damage an original feature. That is nothing but scalability. Scalability means increasing or decreasing functionality without affecting original functionality. Is a scalability. It's a scalable, right? Now, Java is scalable. How it is scalable here? Not only Java here. Not only Java. Every technology releasing market, first they say that it is scalable. Yes, our technology is scalable technology. What does it mean here? Scalability means, see, in software, there are some basic functionality. Yes, what's the first language in software? C is a first language. C is a first language in software field, right? C is having some features like data types, these are basic things. Data types. Next, operators. Okay. Next, control statement like if statements. Okay. Yes. Next, while loop, for loop. These things, right? Next, syntax. Okay. So these are some C language, first language, C language. Some data types, operators, control statements, and syntaxes, right? See, whatever language coming in the market here, that language should adapt these features compulsory. Suppose Java should have the data types, operators, control statements, and syntax rules. So C++ coming. C++ also has to follow these things here. Java has to follow this. Python also following these rules. Every software, what are the software is coming to market here? All that software is following C language rules. Okay, all the software is following C language rules. That means without affecting existing C language rules here, new features added to their technologies. So in Java, yes, C language concepts are there. In Python, C language concepts, .NET C language concepts here, C++ C language concepts, Scala also C language concepts. Okay, suppose Oracle ERP, technical, there also C language concepts. Yes, wherever you go, these concepts will not be changing here. So that's the reason everyone says that if you know that C language, easy to understand software field. Yes, generally everyone says that if you good at C language, then easy to understand software, any technology. Reason, every technology follows C++ fundamentals or C language fundamental rules. It's nothing but scalable language. Scalability. Scalability means that Java is scalable. Java developed without affecting C language that features here existing system without affecting the software rules. They are the software rules without affecting. So without violating software rules, Java technology developed. Python is scalable means Python technology also developed without affecting that existing rules. Okay, so without affecting existing rules, it's nothing but it's a scalability. Java is scalable. So Java language developed without affecting existing rules of C language, without violating the rules here. It's nothing but scalability. Scalability concepts. Okay, right? Next. Yes, secure. So what is secure? Java applications are security here. What is security here? See, Java applications cannot hack your data. Okay, there is a security from the Java applications. JVM will not allow to access your file system. Suppose visiting some site, some website visit, from that website downloading some files. That files can be access your data. Suppose that files are Java files, no chance. JVM will not allow to access your local file system. Okay, JVM will not allow here. JVM will not allow here. Suppose any website developed in Java, it's a trustable. It's a trustable. Yes, if website is trustable, many users visiting website, it's automatically getting business. These one more features of Java. Yes, these are features of Java. That's all. That's all about Java features. Java overview features and everything completed. Okay. So next topic is installing Java, installing Eclipse. So how to do that? Next class we'll discuss. Next class. Okay. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Please don't leave. 1 second. One second. 1 second. See, still any pending is to submit your details, please send this. My WhatsApp number is already group created. Yes, in group already 16 members are there, I think. Okay, my WhatsApp number 8179189123. Still anyone is there to submit, please submit your information to this, like your name. Okay, your name, next your WhatsApp course you taking here, next what's your time, next your Gmail ID is important here. Gmail ID is important. Okay, please provide this information. Okay, yes, mail ID compulsory. Yes, I'll share today night. I'll be sharing all this. Okay, yes. So this is my WhatsApp. Please note it. Please note it and submit your details here. Submit details. I will add to that group. Yes, already group created. Let me show that group. Yes, material I'll share it today. I'll share it definitely because there are some rules following here. Yes, in online teams, some rules they are following here. Yes, I should follow their rules. Okay. So today night we are sharing. 1 second. Here this is okay. Here this is a group. Yes, almost I think yes, 16 to 18 members are attending class. Yes, 17 participants. So almost 16 to 17 members are attending class. Okay. Yes, still any pending one, please submit your details. I'll add to that group. Okay. Yeah, I'll share that. Complete videos and material, everything today I'll share it. Today I'll share it. Don't worry. Today I'll share it. Okay. Yes. Yes. Any doubts? Still any doubts are there? Yes. Any doubts? No doubts, right? Yes. If no doubts, let us find a session. Next session is on Monday. Yes. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, don't have the class. See, Saturday only because of first Saturday for your batch, I'm cancelling here. Next Saturday class will be there. Monday to Saturday classes. Monday to Saturday classes. Okay. Monday to Saturday classes here. Only this Saturday cancelling here. So next class will be on Monday. Next class will be on Monday. Right here. Thank you. Yes. See you on Monday.